Good morning, everybody. MG here. MG Covers. Happy September the 12th, 2020. College football is here. I know we've had some games, but this is, I guess, the first official week of a full slate of games. Again, my Gamecocks are not playing, but looks like we got, about 20 games or so. So this is actually officially week one. So what I'm going to do in this is just give you a sports betting preview. We're going to look at every single matchup, where the public is going. If we've got some reverse line movement, give me some of my thoughts. I have worked diligently on college football this year. I have a stat model. If you're a client, you can actually go in and see what I've been doing, working on. It uses two primary stats. Super excited about it. We tested it for one full season. It was very profitable. However, the only negative is we won't be able to actually post our power rankings for college football until teams have played about 3 games, which is going to be September the 26th. So when all those games have been played. So my power rankings for college football will be up September the 26th. So we'll officially, quote, start wagering that following week, which will be October the 3rd. Still may play a few plays here and there depending on how things look. But again, super excited about the model. So today's preview, we're just going to go through all these games, give you some insight. And so let's get started here. Before we do that, like this video, subscribe to the channel. A lot of content there. If you want to follow me on social media, it's MGCovers, covers spelled with a Z. And let's get cracking here. So let's pull up this first one here. All right, so Syracuse, New York. This right here is from Sportsbook Review. It gives you the breakdown, opening line, gives you the odds from several sports books. Obviously, 5 dimes is not included as they're going to restructure their format. And it also shows you where the public is going, where it says wagers. If you're new to the channel, that 49%, look at the Syracuse, North Carolina game. That means 49% of the tickets, not money, 49% of the tickets are on Syracuse, 51% on North Carolina. So it's basically an even split game. The line opened up at 19.5 for North Carolina. Now it's moved to 24. So you're getting a lot of sharp action, a lot of money coming in on North Carolina. Again, if you played North Carolina now, you don't get a lot of closing value. So if you're going to play it, especially when you're playing favorites, you have to play favorites for the most part, have to play those teams early. But definitely a lot of sharp money coming in on North Carolina. All right, Charlotte, Appalachian State. Charlotte, 45% of the tickets. App State, 55%. This one's actually gone the other direction. You got some reverse line movement here. You only have 45% of the tickets on Charlotte. Lined open at 20.5. Now it's down to 17. So you are getting some sharp action there on Charlotte at 17. Getting points in college football is huge. I mean, that's a definite plus. Charlotte's going to be on the road. Obviously, there's not going to be any fans in the stadium. I don't know on this specific game, but again, it's going to be one of those seasons where you definitely want to err on the side of caution, but definitely reverse line movement on the Charlotte. So if you held a gun in my head and said, hey, you have to play this game, I would play Charlotte. Plus 17, reverse line movement, a lot of things going in your favor there. Louisiana Lafayette, Iowa State. Iowa State, 47% of the tickets. Looks like people are favoring Louisiana Lafayette here, 53%, plus 12. Iowa State, minus 12. So you are getting some reverse line movement in favor of Iowa State. Definitely like that matchup there, playing Iowa State, considering a little bit of reverse line movement in favor of Iowa State there. All right, Arkansas State, Kansas State, money's pretty even, 51 and 49. Kansas State opened at 10.5. Now it's all the way up to minus 14. Again, you have the majority of money coming in on Kansas State, but if you play Kansas State at minus 14, you're not getting good closing value. What I would try to do if you like this game, you see that line at minus 13 at Bet Online, that would be the route that I would go, is trying to wait or watch that line, see if you could get it under 2 touchdowns. Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia. Eastern Kentucky, 48%. West Virginia, 52%. I always stay away from these type games when you're getting in college football. There are several reasons I'm going to explain here. So West Virginia, minus 42. Eastern Kentucky, plus 42. Let's talk about the dog. You're getting 42 points. But obviously this will be a blowout. it's just too unpredictable when you're looking at teams that are getting a ton of points, because we know it's going to be a blowout. A lot of things can happen. They might not even score. It might even this is the type of game that could be 63-0. And considering it's so early in the season, you don't have any stats to go by, it will be a game that I would definitely recommend to stay away from. West Virginia, same deal there, -42. What if they're up 35? Fourth quarter, they put second string in. The game ends up being maybe 35-14. I've seen that happen many times. So when you, especially anything over, say like going back to that North Carolina Syracuse game, when you get up a bunk, when you have to lay 20 points in a college football game, it's just not good. Especially what I've seen testing wise, it's just not good to lay that many points in a college football game. Okay, Louisiana, Monroe, Army. Army is going to run those suckers ragged with the football. Line opened up at where we at? -14. Looks like it's, again, same deal. Looks like a lot of sharp money. Majority of the money coming in on Army. They're heavy favorites now, so no closing line value you would get there. Closing line value means the line that it opened at versus the line that you would be playing it out. So not much to talk about there. Notre Dame, Duke. Duke, definitely a non-public team here. Notre Dame, heavy favorites. A little bit of movement there in favor of Notre Dame, but again, heavy public team at 59%. Okay, so we looked at those. Let me get this out. Let's look at a second slate. There's my picture again. Georgia State. Did I do this right? Let's see here. Let me scroll down. My bad, guys. Yeah, okay, here we go. Georgia Tech, Florida State. Florida State, heavy public team. A lot of money came in on Florida State. Bumped that line up to 14. It opened at -11. Georgia Tech. If you're going to play Georgia Tech here, again, if you're playing the dog, I talk about this in NFL as well. If you're playing the dog, Georgia Tech, you would want to get the line at +14, because that way, if they lose by 2 touchdowns, it would be a push. And if you're wanting to play the favorite, Florida State, which I wouldn't recommend, heavy favorite, you would want to try to get that line at 13.5 there. So if they win by 2 touchdowns, you would cover. Texas San Antonio against Texas State. Money's even split here, favoring Texas San Antonio. You can see that line open at +7. The tickets are split 50-50. You had +7 Texas San Antonio. Now it's gone to +5.5. So in order to push that line down to 5.5, there has to have been a majority of money coming in on San Antonio. So that would definitely favor San Antonio there. And another thing too, when you think about, I'll show you this. I talk about this in NFL a lot. It's maybe a lot of money. Is that when you look at a game like that, when it's that close to even at +5. It might be advantageous to play. Let me see if. Oh yeah, there's a line. Is to play that on the money line. So if you're thinking about playing Texas San Antonio rather than getting 5.5 points, granted it covers that field goal, but it's still under the 7. And generally, like I've talked about before, any sport, teams that win large majority of the time they cover. So it would probably be advantageous to play this. If you're going to play Texas San Antonio, play them on the money line. Right now, it looks like they're +179 at Pinnacle, +175 at Bookmaker, Bet Online, +175. So something to think about there. All right, let me scroll back here, put this back on point spreads. I'm looking at 2 different screens there. Campbell, Georgia Southern. Some Southern teams here. Campbell, 39% of the tickets. Georgia Southern, 61%. Georgia Southern will run them ragged. Again, 34 points. You getting 34 points, go with Campbell. You got to lay 34 with Georgia Southern. Would not recommend playing that game at all. Austin Peay and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, 55% of the tickets. Austin Peay, 45%. Again, get 29 points there. You've had a good bit of money coming in on Pittsburgh. Again, if you're going to play that, same deal. If you play favorites, again, I mentioned this before, you want to play them early because you can see that line went from -24 all the way up to now -29. Citadel, South Florida. Interesting matchup here. Citadel, very good team. Fundamentally sound. 52% of the tickets. South Florida, 48%. I definitely like Citadel. This is one that I would looking at possibly playing. You get 17 points. Again, 52% of the tickets. Citadel, 48% on South Florida. So that's basically even. And this line hasn't shifted at all. It's basically remained right at 17. You can see there that other sports book, which I never heard of, GT Bets, 17.5. Granted, South Florida's home, but that would definitely favor Citadel. They run the ball, they control the time of possession, which is going to limit South Florida's opportunities. So that would be definitely a game to look at. Missouri State, Oklahoma, definitely a blowout here. Same thing I've talked about here. You got to lay 48.5 points. Anything can happen. So a game I would not look at playing. Same deal with Clemson, Wake Forest. We know Clemson's going to probably blow Wake Forest out, but hey, you never know. And one thing too to consider, the only time I would recommend considering a game where you're getting a lot of points or having to lay a lot of points is go in the direction of the dog at home, because you can see here Wake Forest is at home. I'm not sure if they have if they're going to have fans there or not. You might want to check that. But 35% of the tickets, so that's in your favor. They're a non-public team, and you're getting 34 points. So that is a lot, and it's a night game. I don't know what significance that would play, but that would be one. Would not be surprised to see Wake Forest cover that one. Okay, let's take this screen off here. Whoops. All right, last. Whoops, already did that one. Damn it. Hang on, guys. I did that one too. Where's our last set of games? Was that it? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't screenshot it. My bad. I'll just talk about these games here. You got Tulane, South Alabama. Tulane, 47% of the tickets. South Alabama, 53%. South Alabama's football get points, so that's definitely a game to consider. South Alabama is a slight public team, getting 53% of the tickets. Western Kentucky, Louisville. Western Kentucky, 36% of the tickets. Louisville, 64%. Obviously, Western Kentucky is the dog at plus 12. If I leaned any direction, it would be Western Kentucky. I haven't talked about this. It's not as applicable to college football as it is to NFL, but at the plus 12, you're covering the 3, which is the field goal. You're covering the 10. You're covering the 3, which is the field goal. You're covering the 7, which is the second most popular spread that a line falls on is a 7 or point differential, and you're also covering the 10. So you cover the 3, 7, the 10, getting the 12 there. Texas, El Paso against Texas. Obviously, same deal. It's going to be a blowout. It's line opened up at minus 41. It's now 44.5 in favor of Texas. Houston Baptist and Texas Tech. Same deal. Texas Tech, 57% of the tickets, minus 41.5. Houston Baptist plus 41, a game I wouldn't touch. And then finally, my South Carolina team here at Coastal Carolina going on the road to play Kansas. The public is all over Coastal Carolina, 58% of the tickets. I would definitely look at play at Kansas. This would be a definitely sharp play to play Kansas. 58% of the tickets on Coastal, and the line open at plus 3.5. Now it's at 5.5. Whereas Kansas, the line opened at minus 3.5, and now it's bumped to minus 5.5, even though there's only 42% of the tickets on Kansas. That means you're getting a reverse line movement in favor of Kansas. So the two plays I actually recommend, not saying I'm going to play on, but would be the Citadel matchup and the Kansas. Definitely like both of those games. So that's it. Hopefully that helps. If you're interested in becoming a client, it's a good time to join. We have NFL coming up. Same deal with the NFL. We'll have a few plays here and there. Our stat model will not, quote, be in effect until NFL teams have played 3 games. But you can join for $249. That's for the entire year. If you look in this description box, there will be a link with a coupon code. If you put that coupon code in, gives you $49 off, so that's $200 for the entire year. What do you get with that? You get all my power rankings for all sports. You get all my plays for all sports. Ton of value there. So if you want to take advantage of that, click the link in the description box. Hope everybody has a profitable college football season. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.